So about a month ago, React 17 was announced, and it seemed to be a very underwhelming release with no new features. Thanks Adrian and Ben for letting us know. While it's true that there are no new features, I think there was one change that slipped under the radar. And I haven't seen anyone else talking about this. There's a new version of Jsx Transform supported by React 17, and in my opinion, this is a big deal. So what is Jsx Transform? Well, JSX might look like HTML, but it really isn't. Browsers have no idea what to do with JSX, so it has to be compiled or transformed into regular JavaScript. So it's this transformation process that has changed. There's three main benefits from this new transform. React import is not required, and this improves the bundle size. And because of that, it's easier to learn React because there are fewer concepts. Now, to be clear, the Jsx syntax has not changed at all. You're still going to write JSX just like you have in the past. And also, upgrading to this new Jsx transform is completely optional. So what's the difference? Until now, the compiler would take your JSX and transform it into JavaScript that the browser could understand using React create element. So in this example, we're importing React from React, and then we have our functional component returning JSX. The compiler then transforms the JSX into React create element. So what's wrong with this process? Well, because the compiler uses create element, React needs to be in scope. There are also some performance issues that create element causes. And create element was never intended to be the implementation of JSX. If you want to read more about these issues, I'll put a link to an article in the description below. Now to fix these issues, the new Jsx transform doesn't use create element. It uses two newly introduced entry points into the React package in React 17. And these are solely used by compilers. So here's what that same example would look like using the new Jsx transform. We again have our React functional component returning some JSX. This time, the compiler returns something completely different. It's importing JSX from reactjs runtime, and then in the component, it's returning JSX using this new JSX runtime. Notice in the code that we wrote, we no longer have to import React just to write some JSX. Also notice that in the compiled code, it includes this JSX import. Now, this is done automatically by the compiler. You will never import this yourself. So how do we start using this? Support has been added to the Create React app, and it will be available in the upcoming release of version 4.0, but we can start using it today. I have a blank project folder open here. We're going to use npx create React app with the @next, and then we're going to specify a script version. That's going to equal @next. We're also going to specify a template. That's going to equal CRA-template @next. And then we're going to create that in the current directory. I'll speed up the installation for time. All right, now that that's complete, we're going to go into our package JSON, and we're going to make a few alterations here. So for React and React DOM, we're going to change the versions here. We need the latest version, and as of the recording of this video, it's 17.0.0-RC.2. And we're going to put the same thing here for the React DOM. And then to keep ESLint from yelling at us, we're going to add some rules. Let's go down here to the ESLint configuration. And right after the extends, I'm just going to paste this in here. So rules, and then we're going to add reactjsx uses React. We're going to turn that off. And then React and JSX scope, and we're going to turn that off as well. Let's save that, and then we'll go back to our terminal, and let's do an npm install. That way we'll get our latest version of React. All right, that's pretty quick. Now after that, let's go ahead and run this just to make sure everything is working. So we'll do an npm start. There we see that our React app is working. And now we can remove any React imports that are solely for JSX. So let's go to our source folder and open our app.js file. And we'll see that here we're importing React from React. but we're not using it anywhere. We just have some JSX. So let's just remove this line and let's save that. We'll go back to our build and we can see that it's still running. Now, if we're importing React because we're using hooks or other React methods, we still need to leave those in. Now, what about upgrading existing code? So for any existing React apps, we can remove any unused React imports with a simple command. Let's go ahead and undo the changes that we made here. We're going to add that back in and save it. Now, I also want you to note in our index.js file, we're importing React as well here, but we're using React for the strict mode. We can run a simple command that is going to go through our project and remove any of these unused React imports, but it will destructure any needed React imports. All right, back in the console, I'm going to kill this and then let's run that command. So it's npx react-codemod and then update-react-imports. All right, and we'll run this. And now it's searching through our project looking for any unused imports. Now notice this message, it says before we continue, please stash or commit your git changes. But because git is not clean, we have uncommitted changes, it doesn't want to modify our code, which is a good thing. So if we don't want to commit our changes, we can force it by using the force flag. So if we run the same command as before and then add the force flag, then it's going to give us a warning. The git directory is not clean. Do we want to forcibly continue? And it's asking us which directory. By default, it's the current directory, so we'll just hit enter. Then it wants to know which type of JavaScript. We're using just plain JavaScript, so we'll hit enter again. And now we see that it made 3 changes. So it made a change to our app.js. It removed our React import. It also made a change in our app.test.js. It removed that import as well. And then let's look at our index.js. It removed the import of React, but it destructured and it kept our strict mode. We didn't need the entire React import. We just needed strict mode, so it destructured and kept that. So if we were using useState or any other React methods, it would do the same. So because of this, it could slightly improve our bundle size by reducing the unneeded imports. So just to make sure, let's go ahead and run this. So npm start, let's make sure it still works. And there we go, it's still working. So I think this is a great improvement coming with React 17. Let me know what you think. Like this video to help me out and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this.